Oh, what's up? I'm live. Okay. What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It's your girl, Courage Molina, faith coach, pastor, and everyone's favorite Bible teacher. I help purpose-driven women to build extraordinary faith so they can be who God has called them to be, do what God has called them to do, and take possession of everything God said they could have. I want you to become bolder, more confident, and courageous enough to consistently take action so you can courageously level up in your life, your business, and faith, leave a legacy of impact, build wealth. You know what I'm saying? So on this YouTube channel, we talk all things life, business, and faith. Let's go. So we are doing this 90-day Bible reading challenge for the Dose of Courage community, which is the online church. Hey, y'all know Facebook is still tripping, so it is what it is, but today is day 4. So we're going to get into this live stream. The church Dose of Courage community, we are doing a 90-day Bible reading challenge. And so you can either read the entire Bible in 90 days with me, or you can commit to reading the Bible every day for 90 days. Either way, I'd love for you to join us. You can go to this link right here. Let's see. And sign up. And then every single week, you will get an assignment list, like a reading list. What you're supposed to read every day, it'll be sent to your inbox. Okay. So let's jump into this day 4. Right? So day 4, we read Genesis chapter 40 through 50. This entire day was about Joseph, right? And so which made it a little bit easier to think about some of the takeaways. This entire day was about Joseph. How he had the dream, how he told his brothers didn't like him, they was jealous, they sold him into slavery. And then he was working for, he was a servant for somebody else and he did great work. So he was elevated to a position of leadership. Then the wife lied on him, had him falsely imprisoned. Then he was in prison, but then he was working in leadership inside the prison as a prisoner. And then there were 2 men who were down there and he interpreted their dreams for them. And what he said was going to happen happened, but they forgot about him. And then the king had a dream. And the guy who was in prison with him was like, oh, man, I forgot when you locked me up that time. It was a dude that was in there. He interpreted my dream and everything he said was going to come true came true. And so they pulled him out of prison and he got cleaned up. And so then, he told him what the dream meant, that there was going to be 7 years of abundance and 7 years of famine, and told him what he needed to do so that Egypt could survive and so that the people would survive. And the king was like, who else can we get that's as smart as you? Nobody. So it's going to be you. We're going to hire. You're hired. That's what he said. He said, you hired. You're in charge. Now you do whatever you feel like you need to do, and everybody's going to listen to you because I'm going to tell everybody to listen to you, right? And so then his brothers, who were living in the land of Canaan, they were, struggling over there. It was a famine over there. So their dad sent them to Egypt. He heard there was grain in Egypt, so he sent them there. They did not recognize Joseph, but Joseph recognized them. He played some mind games with them. Then he finally revealed himself on their second trip and sent everybody to come and stay with him in Egypt. And then his dad got to see him and his kids and bless the kids and all that. So what did I notice? Let's see, that he interpreted the dreams. He was called out by Pharaoh to interpret the dreams. He was put in charge because of his gifts, right? What else did I notice? I noticed that wealth was a connection to their provision for the children of Israel, the actual children, not the Israelites, but Jacob, who God changed his name to Israel. So when he sent them to Egypt, they had to have money to pay for the stuff. They didn't just get it for free because people were having a tough time. They had to pay for it. And so he sent money. And then when they gave him their money back and he sent them back, the next time he sent them, he sent double. And he sent like seasonings and pistachio and all these other goods. They just didn't have grain, sent all these other goods. And so they had money. They didn't just have a little bit of money. They had money. Okay. Let me see. All right. So this is what I want you to take away. So I titled this work. I think I titled it work and wealth. Yeah, it's one of my favorite stories too, actually. I think I titled it Work and Wealth. Um, Here's the thing, and I know that you've heard this before, and it's true now. Hold on. Excuse me. I know you've heard this before. Gifts make room. Like people will say, oh, your gifts will make room for you. But this is what I noticed more specifically, that gifts will make room for you when you use them. Having a gift, being gifted in something does not make room for you. That is not true. This idea that just because you have a gift, and I know like people are quoting the Bible, but the interpretation of it sometimes might lead you to believe that because you have a gift, it's going to open doors for you. It's not. Using that gift, right? When it says, when the Bible says your gifts will make room for you, the assumption is that you're using them. That's the way that they make room for you. Okay. Gifts make room for you. Gifts make room when you use them. Joseph used his gifts where he was. He used his gifts with his family. And even though that did not turn out well, right? He shared his dream, right? He was a dreamer. He shared his dream. And even though that time didn't turn out well, he didn't allow that to keep him from sharing his gift. Because then when he got into prison, right? When he got to prison and he was in the dungeon of the castle or whatever, Pharaoh's threw him in, Potiphar had him thrown into prison. He still used his gift where he was. Right? So your gifts make room for you when you use them. The second thing I noticed, the second thing to take away from this was that success does not equal healed. Joseph was very successful. He was sold into slavery, into servanthood, right? And he very quickly became very successful in Potiphar's house, and he was second in command to Potiphar. Then the wife had him, she falsely accused him. He ended in the prison. And guess what? He was very successful, even as an inmate. Even as a prisoner, he was very successful. The warden put him in charge of all the prisoners. Very successful, right? And then he got out of the prison and went into the palace to work for Pharaoh. Once again, very successful. But his success did not make him healed from what his brothers did to him. How do we know that? We can tell by the way he treated them. Some people are extremely successful, and so you misunderstand. You think because they have money, because they have a family, because they have things, you mistakenly believe that because a person has success, that they are also healed. Success does not equal healed. People can have success in areas and still not be healed from the trauma and the abuse and the misuse and the mistreatment of their past or the mistakes of their past. Just because somebody was able to succeed in an area doesn't mean that they're healed. We can see that in Joseph. He was extremely successful. He was absolutely in charge. He did not have to do his brothers like that. And I'm not, I'm not judging him. I'm saying he didn't have to do his brothers like that. But part of the reason he did his brothers like that is because he was hurt. Y'all out here living, y'all been living in the land that we from, y'all with that. Like, yes, I have this success, but they still robbed him of something. They still stole years from him, right? From like a human standpoint. Now, yes, he says what they meant for evil, the Lord used for his good, but he still was hurt. Even the brothers were like, oh, we're being punished for what we did to our brother. Even though he cried out to us, he was in the pit crying out to his brothers that just left him and sold him off to slavery, not caring if he lived or died. That's hurt, y'all. That is like real. That is, some of us out here complaining about fake betrayal. This is real life betrayal. Like, this is real betrayal right here. And so while he was extremely successful, does not mean that he was healed. This is the third one. This is one I really, so listen. Wow. I don't know what just happened. Ooh. Oh, because first of all, I don't like that my phone is connected to my computer, friends. I don't like that. Okay. And I don't know who just tried to call me. Okay. Let me see. My sister. My sister just tried to call me. But Olivia's gonna have to teach me how to get that off of here because I don't want that happening. I don't want my phone ringing on my computer. I'm working over here. Okay. Now I have read the story of Joseph 100 times. I have taught Joseph. Joseph is actually one of the stories that is taught in Courageous Discipleship. So it's a story I'm very familiar with. But listening to it this time around, this is the first time I ever got this perspective I'm about to share with y'all. I was just like, oh, look at the Lord showing me something new. It was the wealth for me, right? This third thing I want to share is that wealth can be used to provide, protect, and preserve. Wealth can be used to provide, protect, and preserve. So where did I see that? Let's back up. So there's famine in Canaan and there's famine in Egypt, right? And there came a time where the people in Egypt, they used all their money, then they sold their livestock, then they sold their land and themselves, right? But Jacob, also known in this story at this time as Israel, he sent money, like actual money, with his boys to Egypt the first time so they could buy what they needed for all their households, right? They gave him the money back, and that's fine. But he then said, send double. Like, take what you owed them from before and take the new amount, which meant he had money to send for that new amount, right? He didn't send livestock. He didn't say, let me trade my livestock. And then he sent them bonus gifts. Because he had that wealth, he used that finance. He didn't use his spiritual wealth. Are you following me? He used his wealth, his actual financial wealth, to provide for him and his household. He used that financial wealth to protect them from having to sell their land, their legacy, their livestock. He used that wealth to preserve the legacy he had built up. He used that wealth to preserve the inheritance that he would be given to his sons because he was financially rich. Are you following that? In the time of a famine, because he was financially rich, he was able to send money over to Egypt to get more grain. He did not sell his livestock. He did not barter his livestock and he wasn't selling off his property. They was rich. How did Jacob become rich? Now, this is from yesterday, but we're just going to talk about it. How did Jacob become rich? Because he worked for his uncle Laban. So he amassed wealth through work. And yes, I know that the Lord is the one who brings wealth. I'm not an idiot, but he also worked. The Lord didn't drop that wealth in his lap. He worked and built the wealth, right? Yes, he gave God something to bless, and God blessed him and gave him an increase, right? Yeah, because people be like, oh, there are other ways to be rich. Okay, cool. But why are we ignoring that money is also a way to be rich? Like, money is also a part of that, right? Wealth, not just rich in spirit, rich in coins, rich in the bag. You understand what I'm saying? That wealth was used to provide, protect, and preserve. I never saw that before. Like I never caught that before. But when I listened to it today, and he was like, he said take double. I was like, if he said take double, that means they had double to take. People was selling themselves off, so everybody didn't have wealth. Everybody couldn't buy grain because grain was available. That was big for me. And the third thing that I noticed. I knew this before, but I didn't notice it in this story. Or the fourth thing, I'm sorry, is the Lord doesn't follow culture. God does not follow culture. Why am I saying that? Because when Israel, Jacob, right, came to Egypt and he got to meet Joseph's boys and he blessed them, he blessed the younger one over the older one. That went against culture. That's why, and tradition. That's why Joseph was like, no, that's wrong. Like, don't do that. That's not the right way. He wasn't saying that's not the right way according to the Lord. He was saying that's not the right way according to like how we do things. But the Lord's blessing is on who the Lord's blessing is on. And the Lord doesn't have to follow culture. He can bless. He was like, oh, Manasseh's going to be good, but Ephraim going to be better. Oh, Manasseh going to do some things, but he ain't gonna be as good as Ephraim. That's just is what it is. He will serve his younger brother. He will have his own thing and all of that. That was insane to me. And so this is what I want you to take away from this, that you have a call and an assignment. And I don't know why you've been chosen, but I can tell you this: you may not feel like the likely choice. You may not feel like you're the right pick, but God has chosen you because he does not choose like culture. He does not have to follow culture. He is God. God sets the tone. And so he has chosen you with an assignment, with a call, and not just some spiritual calling. Like, you were created to do some work on this earth. You were saved through what he did on the Christ Jesus, because he has work that he has ordained you for, predestined you for. He created a purpose, and then he created you to fulfill that purpose. We've been called to work. You have an assignment. You know what else I know? I know that you have a gift also. I know that for a fact, because we were all equipped with gifts to help us do our purpose, because God has promised us a prosperous and abundant life. People are like, oh, he didn't mean that. You don't read your Bible enough. The Lord promised us a life of prosperity and abundance. And while he's not only talking about money, he's not excluding money. That's what culture does. Culture's like, and you can't have money. Miss me with that. Because Abraham was rich. Jacob was rich. Isaac was rich with money. Solomon was rich with dollars. You feel me? These people had land and livestock and coins. So I don't know what is broke. People don't want you, they say prosperity preaching. I'm not to be on here with no poverty preaching. You can miss me with that. I'm gonna preach the word, and thus says the word of God, right? That the blessings of God makes me rich and adds no sorrow. He made Abraham rich, increased him. Isaac sowed a seed and he got 100-fold in the same year. That's increase, baby. That's exponential financial growth. Jacob was rich, and Esau, when Jacob came back to meet Esau was like, I don't need nothing from you. I got my own money. So why the chosen of the Bible are out here changing up the game financially, but we over here with the broke joke, I don't know about that. But I'm telling you, you have a call and assignment, you have a gift, and prosperity is your birthright. I'm telling you that prosperity is your birthright. The question is, are you working your gift so that you can take possession of the wealth that is your birthright? Are you working your gift so that you can build the wealth that's your birthright? That's what I want to, that's just me. Like, because I know I have a gift. Are you working your gift so that you can build the wealth that's your birthright? I know that wealth is my birthright, that prosperity is my birthright, because as a child of the Most High God, he expects for me to take care of widows. He expects for me to help those that have suffered injustice. He expects for me to serve and feed and house and all those things. I need money for that. He knows that. He's not like, oh, I don't know what y'all going. He knows this is not a broader in society, right? There's work that needs to be done in the world. He says, what good is it for you to be praying for people? Oh, go and be ye not hungry, and not fix them a sandwich. Well, I went to Publix, and you can't get a sandwich if you don't have money. You cannot buy sandwiches to feed the poor if you don't have money, even if your gift is in traditional ministry. You still got to pay for that bread and that meat and that mayonnaise, else you will be arrested. It's called highway robbery. You're a thief. You can't walk out of Publix without paying for it. I don't care who you're giving it to, what your heart is behind it. You're going to get silver bracelets, honey. You're going to jail. Okay? I want to know, are you working your gift? Because God has given you a gift. He's got a purpose and assignment for you, and he has spoken blessings over your life. For those of you who've been called to the marketplace, here's the thing. You have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to show up to do the work. And so I know every single day I've been inviting you guys to the free Bible study, and every single day I've been inviting you guys to join the DOC. But on this day today, especially on the day when Facebook and Instagram went down, Like, ain't nobody got time for that. On this day, I want to invite you to join Courageous Living Community. Boom. Look at me with my little links up here. I want to invite you to join Courageous Living Community. It is a community for women entrepreneurs who understand the assignment and work every day to fulfill it. Like, real talk. It's about you putting systems in place. It's about holding you accountable, right? It's about you having an opportunity to connect with other women who are also in business, other women who are building businesses, who are aspiring entrepreneurs, right? That's what, it's not for women who not work. If you don't want to work, this is not for you. You don't want this saying, this is not going to be good for you. If you don't have a brand, you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but you need to have some type of brand. You want to have a brand, right? So you can be an employee. That's fine. You can be an employee is cool. But do you have a brand? Do you have something that you are promoting, right? My camera looks so good. Y'all notice the new computer Dora. Hey, look at God. I want to invite you to join the CLC membership. It doesn't make any sense for you not to join. First of all, it's $25 a month. Please get your whole life. You can pay for it for the year for $250 for the entire year. We'll get you 12 months in. Every single month, accountability and goal setting calls. You can have a gift, but you got to work it. Your gift makes room when you use it. Want to make sure that you're consistently using your gift, accountability and goal setting, resources and education. I have been a full-time entrepreneur since 2017. I have been doing this entrepreneurial work. I started this journey back in 2008. I started this journey and I made a lot of mistakes from 2008 to 2015. 2015, 16 is probably when I got for real. That's when I got serious. I was playing. I didn't think I was playing in 2007. I thought I was actually doing something. But in 2015, as I look back, 2016, I was just playing. I wasn't real. I thought I was working. I wasn't working, y'all. I was pretending to be an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur for Halloween. So I have a wealth of resources and education. I have an amazing network of friends, other business women that are just amazing at what they do. And they serve other entrepreneurs just like you. And so you want to be a part of this community. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. 24/7 access to it. You also get monthly tasks, right? Because it's not just, I know, especially, I know this is for my faith-filled, holy folks. I know it's not all about business all the time. And so Courageous Living is not just about building a business. It's also about making sure you have great relationships and you're spending time with God and that you're taking care of yourself and that you are affirming yourself and that you're taking time to reflect. All of those things are included and they're in your daily task, right? I give you a task. Task takes like 15 minutes a day. What else do you get? Oh, the member directory. You get to be listed on the member directory and people can find you and then you can find people. That's what's up. Do you see what I'm saying? You also get increased visibility, right? It's not just about you being a part of this community. I don't want you to be the best kept secret. I want to see you out here killing it. And I want to be able to share you on my platforms as well. I want to be able to introduce you to my community, to the people that I serve. I can't serve them in every single way. Listen, I stay in my zone of genius, but I know people who are killing it out here and their zones of genius. And those are people that you may need to be connected to also. It's not always going to be $25 a month neither. So go ahead, get in. Your gifts make room for you when you use them. Are you using them? Do you need an accountability group? Do you need a place where you can get your questions asked and answered about entrepreneurship, about, you can get some eyes on the things that you're doing. You don't want to miss this opportunity. If you are thinking about starting a business, if you have a business, if you have a side hustle that you want to see grow, join Courageous Living Community. Like, it is $25 a month. Like, I know I'm looking at you with my eyes rolling, but it's because I'm looking at you with my eyes rolling. Okay. Hey. It's $25 a month. So don't miss this opportunity. That's Tina Maria. Hey, Tina Maria. You don't want to miss this. All right. I think that's it. Facebook was tripping today. Right? If you're on the email list, then you were still able to get all the goodness that I had to send out today, even though I couldn't post it on Facebook. Facebook wouldn't let me be great. That's why it's so important for you to know these, business things. I sent out some business tips today for entrepreneurs? How can you get around the stuff when social media shuts down? Are you positioned to pivot? We know that we are going to meet resistance on the road to greatness. But here's the question. Are you prepared for the resistance? Do you have a system in place so that when you meet resistance, you're able to get through and you can meet resistance with resiliency? Are you positioned for a pivot? Do you have the systems and support in place so that you can easily move? Are you able to be flexible? Or if things shut down, are you going to have to shut down? Right? You want to get it in a community of women who can help you grow your business. Like we talking about business over here. Okay. All right. Until next time, I hope this bless y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow to share with you day 5. Go ahead. First of all, you should also share CLC with your biz bestie. You a fake best friend if you are in the program, but your friends that are in business are not in the program. Like that is, I ain't gonna say you fake. Oh wait, I already did. People be like, yeah, I said it. Don't be like that. If you're in the group, tell your friends so they can get in the group too. All right. That's right. Currently working on positioning myself when I need to pivot. Yes, we've got to be able to just like pivot when we need to pivot. So, all right. I love you guys. And I'll see you mañana. Later.